CSR is no longer let's get together and we will plant trees. There are many ways to contribute to the well-being of the society. How to make things better this day, to succeed in doing so, is all about the ability to build relationships and collaborate with others. Voice of the Nation today welcome Kun Suvita Charanwong, CEO and co-founder of Tellscore Company Limited, and Kun Tarlapraporn Punyorin, Strategic Partnership Manager at SE Thailand and Social Enterprise Thailand Association สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ
Welcome to Voice of the Nation. Tellscore, I have heard the name for quite some time. What is this all about Tellscore คุณปูครับ
Hi. Yes. So glad to be on this session. Well, about Tellscore, we are a tech platform that basically some call us a startup, a MarTech startup, marketing technology. And basically we bring together influencers on the one side together to meet with brands or people who own products, or these days even advertising agencies that want to collaborate and work with influencers to help promote products. So basically that's it in a nutshell.
I see. It's just like a bridge, like you have a huge group of influencers, and you mentioned it, micro influencers. Kun Pu Krab, can you define the work of Tellscore in terms of like you are bridging micro influencers and brands? So what is micro influencer?
Yes, thank you. So well, it's a technology platform, and we screen right now we have 80,000 influencers on the platform. So mainly all of them a mixture of like micro influencers, the majority, and we also have macro influencers that has like millions or like, hundred thousands of followers on our platform as well. So these days it's our 4th year, so we were blessed with the mixture of sizes. Yeah, and basically that attracts brands to come and find out who they are and how to collaborate with them.
Oh, thank you ครับ Let's go to SE Thailand คุณแป้งครับ SE Thailand Social Enterprise Thailand is the for society and not doing business.
Well, the term SE Thailand actually stands for social enterprise, and we are the Association of Social Enterprises in Thailand. So we are a membership-based organization. We aim to strengthen the collaboration amongst our members who are social enterprises between members and other organizations, with the only one goal to support them. We believe that with social enterprises, Thailand will be better, because social enterprises help solving social problem. So we as an SE Thailand, we would like to enhance them, promote them, ensure that they can create impact. So as the association, we support the sharing of knowledge too about social enterprises to the public audience, which this is the area that we work with Tellscore.
I see. So how many social enterprises in Thailand so far?
Currently, we have 51 social enterprises as an organization members, and we also have 11 individuals members who are interested in social enterprises, and they would like to be part of this community.
I see. So, and Tellscore with and Social Enterprise Thailand, Social Enterprise Thailand Association working together for the project called Help You Help Me. คุณปูครับ can you explain to me what the significance of this project?
Yes, thank you so much. Well, this initiation was like started 3 years ago. It was a way when doors were opening for Tellscore, which we are like a small company, we are a private sector, but actually to contribute to the society has always been, in our heart. Our co-founders, our team members are always thinking about it. So it's not really the matter of like, to do it or not, but it's the matter of like how we do it. So we found out that one thing that is fundamentally, the same for a lot of the social enterprises are they are in need of awareness, that they need some help in terms of expanding the word of mouth of what they do, of the projects that they're doing to the public at large, so that more people know about it. Yeah, so that's how we came about. Like, yeah, so we're doing, influencer marketing, which is exactly that. We expand, and access the word of mouth and expand the awareness. Yeah, so we reach out and they were very welcome, and that's basically how it started.
When someone initiated some ideas that's quite unique or new to society, and it's like a chance that maybe you have high stake that's going to be success or not. And what did the idea that, I mean, the first year that you did this project, can you tell me struggling or the efforts that you try to put things together? Because it seems to be that you have to work with many people to start this out.
Yes, yeah, that's actually one of the key questions. Thank you so much for the questions, because coming in as a private sector, we know really well on how to work with clients on the commercial terms and things like that. But when it comes to change organizations, there's another lingo, there's another etiquette that brings about, the collaboration. So I think I myself, my co-founder, and the team learn a lot about actually how to work with change organizations. They are very kind and they are very open to ideas, and that's actually the very differentiations. But in terms of like making the process of communication as an advertising agency, sometimes see us as advertising agencies, there's still a bridge, because we yeah, we'll have the chance to open up that, how to communicate a message across is actually a different process than they might have been used to. Yeah, so that's like not really the struggle, but kind of like the doors that opening up for a new language. Yeah, and our team learned so much about how to break the language into something that is that can communicate throughout.
คุณแป้งครับ for similar questions, you also working with many social enterprises as working for the association, so it means a lot of differences from
Yes,
each social enterprise. How do
exactly.
you see development of collaboration? How do you manage that?
Well, I would like to say that social enterprises themselves, they also work with other organizations as well, but it seems like a burden for them because they have to survive in terms of the business, and they have to create impact, and adding on another collaboration task would be very difficult for them to handle. So I see Thailand comes in, and we would like to be that person who help them to collaborate, to connect with others. So it's not easy, but in terms of our role with Tellscore, we would like to say that it's like the first time for us to work with a commercial company driving about marketing in terms of the concept of social enterprises. It's very exciting. It's not easy, but it's like an an open gate for us, introducing us to the world of influencer marketing world. And as Kun Fu mentioned, that we are as a change organization, we are not that strong in terms of commercial marketing communication, but we are quite strong about creating social impact. I think when we meet together, it's like we bring the best from each other. We use our strengths to create a better, better project, better campaign together, and I think it's very successful in my point of view.
For
Yeah.
this project, help me.
Mm,
It's not all about making profit. It's all
mm,
about how to make an impact. So when you
yes.
communicate each other, the first thing is not like how you make money from this. So that's going to be the language. It's like a new kind of language that how to create a win-win situation for the well-being of the society. And I think that many people feel this way as well, because sometimes when we deal with business, it's just like, oh, how to make an income for this, how to earn it. And for this, in terms of the impact, can you help me see the pictures that the project, the contribution of the project to create impact for the society? คุณปูครับ
Yeah. So that's definitely true. So the aim is the impact is not the income, and impact is measured through like the number of word of mouth that got spread over. Yeah. So luckily the platform is doing that already as a
Mm,
influencer marketing platform. The most important thing is like how do we measure first of all the quality of the influencers, so they have to be in the right place. I mean, in terms of
mm,
like they want to do this collaboration, they want to be part of the change organizations, they need to be happy to accept these jobs, and
mm,
they wanted to communicate to their friends, and then the system will have like actually an API. It's a tech that actually collect the performance, like how many
mm,
views, how many reach, how
mm,
many engagement
mm,
that they get. Yeah, so in the end it's like coming back to the marketing funnel, how much
mm,
of the impact it was created. Yeah, so
mm,
we can use to improve on the next time as well.
When you start this project, it's just like you have to ask, you have to like the spread of the telling people to do volunteering because the all your influencers they are working for money, and then you ask them to volunteer in the first place.
Yeah, that's exactly true how it started. Although it changes gradually, like in terms of like the first year, we have like a couple of 10,000 influencers on the platform. So we send them notifications, emails, and ask them like who are up for this, like volunteering. So there's no
Uh-huh.
money in the campaign. Actually about like 800, and then it grew to 2,000 people to actually like hey, I'm in. Yeah, that was like really
Oh.
really heartwarming for us. Yeah, but during
Mhm.
COVID, these people sort of like um, they need more income, so a lot of them
I
like
see.
yeah, so the number actually shrink.
Uh-huh.
And then we found a new replacement for this, like luckily it's like kind of like a rotating like
Uh-huh.
sort of like influencer pool, if I may.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
we were able to increase the number back up again, but then we
Mhm.
also wanted to make it sustainable. So right now we are also looking into next year how we actually can maybe raise funds for this little small project, so this influencer
Mhm.
pool can stay with us
Mhm.
longer and bigger. And it
Mhm.
doesn't have to be huge money, it has to
Mhm.
just be a little bit of to worth their time traveling or mentioning the product, things like
Mm.
that. Yeah.
I see. You mentioned about the COVID time. I almost forgot to ask about this because it's interesting to me that people how people survive, and as a manager, how do they manage things to get going and still running? For you, you were CEO of this Tellscore. How did you cope with that situation during the past 2 years due to
Yeah,
COVID?
how we survive, right? It's very key questions. Yes, we were still young, right? A company of less than 5 years is always vulnerable to this kind of situation. The first 3 months in year 2020, we had no income at all. So that was
Mhm.
a kind of a kind of like a wake up call for us. So a lot of our clients, if I may, are B2B, are
Mhm.
corporates,
Mhm.
but then luckily their confidence came back, and actually influencer marketing were almost one of the few access to still be able to talk to the consumers or
Mhm.
people. Yeah, so yeah, I think the confidence in that gained back, and we were on the positive side, that yeah, we survived through that. Yeah, exactly because of the digital platform. That is why it helped a lot, and the
Mhm.
influencers saw us as a secondary income anyway. So on the influencer side, I think more influencers embarked on our platform, but we were not able to actually send them jobs. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And what did you learn the most? Like something that new to you from that situation? But many people just like, oh, it's time for us not to have one source of income, and
Mm.
some of them just think about it's time for us to increase skills. How about Tailscore and yourself?
Yeah, definitely. So the future of workplace, a lot of people talk about it. So in the views of our influencers, these are like Gen Z, Gen M, young people majority. They don't talk about career anymore. They talk about income source. Yeah. So
Mm,
we're part of the income source, and that's kind of like helping them in terms of the stability. Like we would probably earn, I don't know, like at least like 500, 300 US dollars per month. So that's not a lot, but it's a good, it's a get going kind of like source. And that's an average for the small infancies that we have, the micro infancies. Yeah. And for the marketer side, we call them marketers. For the client side, the corporate side, they change the way they use and collaborate with infancies. They see infancies more as now as people, as marketing arms, not so much as advertising and something that can swipe the credit card and just expand on the awareness. Yeah, so I think in that sense, empathy establishes on both sides.
Oh, that's interesting. How about คุณแป้งครับ the similar question. The association, how did the association help the members of social enterprise members?
Oh, yeah. It was really a tough time for social enterprises. We conducted survey and we found out that some social enterprises may not survive at that time. So it was so serious at that time. So what we did to help them, we try our best to reach out to other organizations, especially who can help providing the funding, supporting in terms of the money for them to survive. We successfully launched what we call a program to help some of the social enterprises to get the funding support, around 2 million Thai baht for 6 social enterprises from other countries. Because there are several companies, several organizations around the world who would like to support social enterprises, and especially during the COVID time. So we like match them to social enterprises in Thailand, and it works quite well. Only we can help 6 social enterprises. Apart from that, we also curated all the supports around the country, not only focusing on the social enterprises, but on SME, other every forms of support. We curated, we collect them into one place, and then we share with social enterprises to ensure that they know these are the supports they could get if they would like to. And we saw 1 or 2 social enterprises disappeared too, but that's okay and that's normal. Yeah, but at the end, I think most of social enterprises survive, and some of social enterprises even have a new business model from this crisis as well. I think, yeah, it's good in a way, but it's bad that we might not prepare well, or we might not have enough money to survive. That's the biggest problem from social enterprise side.
Right. But I believe that we are, Thai people are getting stronger and be more aware of the crisis and how to prepare from the past 2 years. And for this project as well, help me. I think this is a good idea to create impacts. And can you tell me, ครับคุณปูครับ, the differences for this year and the past year? What the development for this year, and what do you see like intriguing and changing the scene of getting people to learn more about empathy?
Thank you. So I think what we learned through the years is like how we collaborate better together, right, Kun Pang? Yeah. So it's more smoother. We understand, and the influencers understand social enterprises more. And I think what really, come to think of it, what really like emerged from this process is the process itself. So it's I would say it's a success because like the influencers were able to expand on the awareness, although it's still not huge, not as big the awareness that we can contribute. We still aim to do that in a larger scale. So that's one thing. But what we learn that was emerged is this process. The process, I mean, like it's not so much about like the advertising or the awareness part, but the way that the influencer first, they establish a really good sense of empathy. Some of them never actually collaborated with change organizations at all. So that's one thing. On the social change organizations, if I may, talking on behalf, It's the process on how they actually break the complex message, because social
Mm.
messages, or like talk about cancers, talk about anti-corruptions, talk about equality.
Tough
it's a
ones.
it's a all tough ones, and they're doing their best on their everyday life. They don't have the time to actually how to communicate. They're just like um so this is the process that enable both of us to break down the message into a simple, like bite-size kind
Mhm.
of yeah. And for in the communication sense, I think Kun Pang mentioned this last
Mhm.
time when we were together, right? So this was exactly my notes 2 years ago too, that in terms of communications, when it's the message is simple,
Mhm.
it will go actually the furthest.
Mhm.
Complex message only stays maybe 7 days, like in a news cycle. Yeah. But
Mhm.
simple messages actually can stay for a month on its own
Mhm.
organically in the social media cycle. So yeah, the simple it is, the more simple it gets, the furthest it goes, and the largest audience it will reach. So
Mhm.
it's a process that we
Mhm.
actually gain
Mhm.
together.
I see. Because the micro influencers, they are just like our friends and people that we know from Facebook or social media. They may not have the skill for communication or seeing themselves that they are agent for change. So Tellscore, this program, Tellscore Influencer for Change, help them to bring the idea to that you can be a change agent as well, no matter how big or small you are. And for larger ones like Social Enterprise Thailand Association, I think your members need skill, this kind of skills as well, and you learn a lot from this. Can you tell me what did you learn the most from working with this project, Kun Pang?
Yes, as you said, actually, our social enterprises member, they also participate in this program as well. But I would
Uh-huh.
like to share from our side as an AC Thailand who joined this program.
Mhm.
Actually, we participated this program since the first year. And we are
Mm.
not chosen to be promoted to be working with influencers, but on the second year, we are chosen to get the support from Tellscore. And
Mhm.
yes, as Kun Bu said, it is a process. I really believe in the process. It's quite a journey for us as well, because
Mhm.
since the first year, we felt that we had a lot to say. We would like to introduce the concept of social enterprises. We would like the audience,
Mhm.
the public, to learn about how great social enterprises can make impact.
Mhm.
It's very complex, and we learned that it's not that way that we should communicate to public. We should make it simpler, easier. So
Mhm. Mhm.
in the second year, we tried again, and even though we try to make it simpler, but when we work with Tellscore, we
Mhm.
got a lot of recommendations,
Mhm.
suggestions to make it easier, very simple, with only one call to action for the audience or for the public to understand.
Mhm.
We still the same. We have a lot to say.
Mhm.
We think a lot, but at the end, the audience might not understand us. And Telscore comes in and tell us, hey, this is too much, too difficult. How about this thing? Easier, nicer?
Mhm.
And yeah. Actually, our campaign is called ICU, hashtag ICU, like hi, ICU, but
Uh-huh.
SE. Instead of SEE,
Oh,
we
I
use
see. It's
SE.
quite
Yes.
clever. Mhm.
Yes, ICU. At that time, we proposed the campaign to be like a call out campaign where
Mhm.
influencers can choose the social problem that they are interested in.
Mhm.
They have to read all
Mhm.
of the materials that we provide, and then they
It's
have to
clever too.
yeah, we would like to introduce the concept of social enterprise and
Uh-huh.
encourage everyone to know that, hey, we have a lot of social problems.
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
need to know that there is someone who is
Mhm.
social enterprise who is working on it,
Mhm.
trying to solve it. So we would like to talk a lot. It's very difficult to
Mhm.
to do so, but Telscore comes in, Telscore team comes in and say, oh, this is how about we choose only one key message,
Mhm.
and the rest they can learn after. So it's like if we have only one shot to tell people what is social
Mhm.
enterprise, we need to make it easier, we need to ensure that it really goes into their mind, and Telstar helps with that.
Mhm.
If we
Mhm.
look at that time, we got 50 influencers
Mhm.
helps us with the ICU campaign. The
Mhm.
call to action at that time, it was asking people to go to what we call Social Enterprise Thailand Forum
Mhm.
2021, which is the part
Mhm.
of Good Society Summit.
Mhm.
Uh, we would like them to learn about the concept of social enterprises by going to this online event, which is free.
Mhm.
If you look at the numbers itself, we at that time, if I'm not wrong, is from all total 50 influencers,
Mhm.
there are 160 followers.
Mhm.
I think the number is not important part, but what I'm really impressed is how the people engage with the content, how influencers communicate this content out. It's really
Mhm.
authentic. It's like heart
Mhm.
to heart. It's like
Mhm.
friends talking to friends. And
Mhm.
once friends talking to friends, they believe it. They
Mhm.
think it is really good because friends
Mhm.
choose this for you. So you
Mhm.
trust, and then you feel like, oh, this is great. I will go.
Mhm.
And all of the comments are like this, and this content makes the influencers looks good as well. It's like that influencer is caring about the world, is caring
Mhm.
about the society. I think it's
Mhm.
win-win. So
Mhm.
the message is conveyed
Mhm.
perfectly. The influencers do not have to work hard comparing with what I proposed at first.
Mhm.
Everyone wins, and Telscore help make this easier, not only for
Mhm.
SE Thailand, but as I can see from other social organizations, it's easier. The campaign look nicer.
Mhm.
People engage more. Engagement is very good.
Mhm.
So it's quite successful for us to have like 5,000 audience into the forum. So
Mhm.
thank you so much for Telscore help me program ค่ะ
It should
Okay.
be time saving and also money wise. Because you can use the Facebook ads, right? And spend a lot of money to the Facebook ads and see the result. So with the tail score helping also craft the message, you got the
Yes.
match what you want exactly. That should be another way to do the branding because the social enterprise are also brandings as well.คุณแป้งครับ one more question. I'm interested in this
ค่ะ
social enterprise. There are many people um wanting to do business, and it's
อืม
a certain kind of dilemma, you know.
อืม
Doing business, it means you have to make the business survive and
อืม
making profits, and you have to encounter the loss. But
อืม
people just like, I want to do the business, but I not really care about profit, you know. So they think about social enterprise. So social enterprise is not like profit oriented. It's just for doing something for the better for the society. How do you explain this to the people who seeing watching us now and want to do social enterprise?
Okay. Wow. Thank you. If you would like to become a social entrepreneurs, welcome. And we are really glad to have a lot of you because we have several problems here in Thailand.
Mm,
Let me put this way. Social enterprises actually starts from defining a problem first. Which
mhm,
social problem that you would like to solve, you would like to
mhm,
tackle, you would like to handle, but you okay, let me put this way. Another form of social organization who is not social enterprises, for example,
mhm,
like foundation, they
mhm,
would like to solve a particular social problem.
mhm,
They work by using the donation money from other people, right? Without
mhm,
donations, they might not be able to continue their work. Social
mhm,
enterprise is like an evolve evolved version of the
mhm,
foundation. For example, social enterprise starts with defining a problem. Then social enterprise would like to survive
mhm,
without relying on only donations. So social enterprise use business models to
mhm,
ensure that they can survive financially.
mhm,
So they sell products or services.
mhm,
Uh-huh. But the goal is still the same. They would like to solve a particular problem.
mhm,
Okay. So by solving the problems, they need money to fuel this machine. So they
mhm,
sell products and services. So this machine is running. and they have to ensure that their work is creating
Mhm.
social impact. So social
Mhm.
enterprises not only need to sell products and service to survive,
Mhm.
they need to ensure that the impact is created and it can be measured. So if you would like to become social enterprises, first select your social problem. Which problem trigger you the most?
Mhm.
And you can think from then, like, okay, how are you going to survive by solving this problem together with your business? So
Mhm.
social enterprise can have the profit, and it must be profiting, otherwise you
Mhm.
cannot survive.
Mhm.
But the next step is how you manage the profit depends on your goal. You might reinvest to expand your impact, or you can create a new product or services to ensure that your machine is running. You have fuels to run. You have enough money. So it's quite
Mhm.
fun. It's quite
Mhm.
inspiring journey, and you can learn a lot from other
Mhm.
social entrepreneurs as well. Me myself, I might not be a social entrepreneur, but I have
Mhm.
opportunity to work with, to talk with several social enterprises. They are very inspiring. They are nice people. They are great. If they work with we call public company, they can be
Mhm.
like high management level, but they choose to be working with social enterprises because they would like to create impact. I think you can start two ways. Either you can start your own social enterprises, or you
Mhm.
can start working with social enterprises first by
Mhm.
becoming their staff, like myself. First,
Mhm.
learn first, and then if okay, you see the problems, you know how to make this survive, you know the business
Mhm.
model, you
Mhm.
know how to create impact, how to measure it, go for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right, right. I think that people should. I think this day, in the many years ago, I read about social enterprise and also look at into other countries that they like England very successful to have
Mm,
social enterprise running, but it's like foreign. It's just like foreign idea for the Thai people back then. But I think this day with the Tellscore doing this project for change and also other big brands also that care for CSR in a new way, even though they are forced to do that, like they have to meet the certain kind of regulation and criteria from the stock market, something
Mm.
like that. At the end, I think they will learn something. Like Tailscore, just that like you just told me, Kunpu, about people learn more about empathy through doing something like this. Maybe they have it, or maybe just they don't understand what the empathy is all about. Can you tell me now, for example, this month is a Pride month, it's LGBT. You can see big malls, also the brands changing the logos into rainbow back with rainbow background, things like that. There is one question recently in New York Times. They said about Pride Month and making the rainbow stuff is just for the brand to show their sincerity, or is it just the marketing? So, what do you think about this, Kap Kunpo, Kap?
It's definitely, like two sides of the coin. Yeah, so first off, I think it's definitely a nice gesture to to
Mm,
display that you are for it, right? Especially
mm,
coming back to countries like us,
mm,
that we are very open to LGBTQ. There's
mm,
more range of this coming in the future too.
mm,
So gender fluid, it's the talk of the town, because
mm,
I'm very open for it, and I'm very very proud that we are in a community that is so, and it's
mm,
particularly in the influencer community. I think the Pride Month is a very strongly celebrated,
mm.
because I think, I don't know, but in terms of in our platform, there's about like 30% people that are LGBTQ. Yeah, so we are
Working in this Telscore
yes,
network,
yes, yeah.
30%.
30%. So that's a lot. That's a lot because we are surrounded by, countries like, I don't know, Indonesia, that is not very open for, like gender fluidity, or other
Uh-huh.
countries. So Thailand is something very special in terms of this sense.
Mhm,
And so for a country like us, we're not just celebrating for, the branding for sure. We are really, fighting for it. We are
mhm,
really, like supporting them. But I can see the, the relationship that it could help to add for the branding.
uh-huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
So
see, I see. So I think that Telscore should join the Pride Parade next year in
yes,
June. But
I,
at least the Kun Chat put that in his calendar. You can see that in June is a Pride Month event, and July is like international film, things like that. It's maybe the first time that we can see this from the government side that
Yeah,
this Pride Month it become an annual event for Bangkok, things
yeah,
like that. And
yeah.
how about ครับคุณแป้งครับ uh, the next step for SE Thailand, what your goal, what the SE Thailand goal for maybe this year or maybe next year that you have to achieve that? What is that?
Well, we will stick to our missions to connect,
Mm-hmm.
first to connect, and not only connect between social enterprises to social enterprises themselves. We would
Mm-hmm.
like to connect them to other organizations as well, especially for the public companies who are interested in driving social impact. If you are listening and you are a public company, even registered in
Mm-hmm.
SET, if
Mm-hmm.
you have the CSR projects, you can shift to be CSV or another form. You can work with social enterprises as well. There are several projects that you can work with SE to make
Mm-hmm.
your CSR projects become more meaningful,
Mm-hmm.
become more creating more impact, and that is one way that we would like to drive to connect all the public companies to learn and to know about SE, so that one day you can work with them. All public company can work with SE.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is about communication. We believe that the
Mm-hmm.
concept of social enterprises is not that aware in the public. Some people still confuse between CSR and social enterprises.
Mm-hmm.
We would like to promote that SE is like a better way. It might not be a better way, but is a more impactful way to do
Mm-hmm.
the CSR. We
Mm-hmm.
would like them to believe in the concept of social enterprises, how they can involve
Mm-hmm.
by supporting social enterprises, and many things that we can do about communication about the concept of SE to the world and to the country. And the last one that we work we would like to achieve is about catalyze. We
Mm-hmm.
would like to be the house of the SEs,
Mm-hmm.
collecting all the voices of
Mm-hmm.
SE, and then tell the government,
Mm-hmm.
tell the public companies who would like to learn more about SE, who would like to learn about the problems, the struggling, the
Mm-hmm.
challenging that they are facing. We would like to be that person. So
Mm-hmm.
our campaign, our programs will stick to these three missions.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the term of the program itself, we would like to promote purchase with purpose campaign. Yeah, inviting all the public companies to involve social enterprises in their supply chain,
Mm-hmm.
because if not only you get the great products or services, you can support them to create impact as well, and then you can be part of the creating impact journey. Yeah, and that it is quite pretty much what we will do.
อืม
ค่ะ
I see. How about คุณปูครับ what the next achievement for
Oh,
Tellscore as CEO to hit
yeah, I just want to celebrate these few moments. You see her Kunyot, how contagious the energy of Kun Bang is.
I
And
see I can tell
yeah, and this is how we feel, how we like, we cannot, harness this kind of like, passion from the commercial side of the business. But this is how I feel, this is how my co-founder feel, this is how all of the influencers and our team feels when they work with these social enterprises, because it's really in the heart. Like you see them every day going out, in the field, talking with people, fighting for cancer, anti-corruptions, you know, can whatnot, right? And then we're sitting in our air conditioning, advertising agency room. So yeah, this is the least that we can do, because they are actually doing the hard work for us. These social enterprises are just like, every really admirable. And yeah, so you were talking about the future, right? So the future is like really try to expand on the impact that we can contribute more, and maybe we need to connect to more people to actually facilitate and help to scale this up. Yeah, because I think a lot of people would really buy into it. They just don't know about this project, and then don't know how to get involved. It's like us in the first year. It's like we were so lucky, so blessed that like social enterprises and good society expand this network to us. It gets us to learn about their lingo, what is their need, and things like that. So yeah, my dream and my future for this project is really to help expand by
Mhm.
connecting more people.
That's very lovely and intriguing ครับคุณปูครับ Yes, our guest today คุณสุวิตาจรันวงศ์คุณปู CEO and co-founder of Tellscore Company Limited and คุณธนปพรปัญโยรินทร์คุณแป้ง Strategic Partnership Manager SE Thailand Social Enterprise Thailand Association. Thanks for joining us today, and I wish you very successful in doing this for the society, and the nation would like to be a part of that as well. ขอบคุณมากครับ
Thank you so
ขอบ
much
คุณค
ค่ะ
่
ขอบคุณ
ะ
ค่ะ